A debt collector is among the nervous 9, hoping to bank as much cash as possible. Weakest link in half an hour, after another classic Mastermind.
In the spotlight tonight is Gordon Barnes from Redcar, a gas platform operator, and his subject is the Boer War. Brian Pearce from Dartford, a timber salesman, and his subject, the Temptations. Jay Thompson from London, a teacher. His subject is the Cotton Nero manuscript. And Hamish Cameron from Elgin, a computer manager, and his chosen subject, Scottish monarchs from 843 to 1371. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind, the toughest quiz on television. Tonight's contenders will tread the same path as the thousands who have gone before them. 2 minutes on their chosen specialist subject and then 2 minutes on their general knowledge. And one of them tonight will go through to the semi-final. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Gordon Barnes.
Your occupation?
I'm a gas platform operator.
And your chosen subject?
Is the Second Anglo-Boer War.
2 minutes, the Second Anglo-Boer War, starting now. Which general who was born in Devon is commemorated in Exeter by a statue with the inscription, "He saved Natal"?
Sir Edward's Buller.
Correct. At the start of the war, the Boers' defeat at the Battle of Talana Hill temporarily prevented them from capturing which village?
Dundee.
Yes. Which soldier and war reporter was captured by General Botha's commandos during their attack on an armoured train in November 1899?
Winston Churchill.
Yes, in December 1899, at which battle did General Coos de la Rey set a trap for the British by drawing up the Boer lines below rather than on top of a ridge?
Magersfontein.
Correct. A small group of journalists arrived in Bloemfontein before the British Army entered the city unopposed. Which celebrated Australian songwriter was amongst them?
Banjo Patterson.
He was. Which railway junction was the location of a muddled battle that ended in British defeat during the so-called Black Week of December 1899?
Sir Stormberg.
Yes. What did Judge Cox suggest should be destroyed during crisis meetings with the other Boer leaders in Johannesburg as General Roberts' forces crossed into the Transvaal?
The gold mines.
Yes. Which Cornish woman founded the South African Women and Children Distress Fund, led the opposition in Britain to kitchen a system of blockhouses and concentration camps?
Emily Hobhouse.
Yes, on the 23rd and 24th of January 1900, British troops briefly captured which hilltop, although they were forced to retreat the following day, having suffered huge numbers of killed and wounded?
Spion Kop.
Correct. Which British journalist, historian and supporter of Roberts criticised Buller in The Times, making particular reference to his telegram suggesting the surrender of Ladysmith?
Stevens.
Leo Amery. Behind which river did Botha set up the defensive lines that temporarily defied Buller's attempts to relieve Ladysmith?
The Tugela.
Yes. Which former Liberal Chancellor criticised the expense of the war during the parliamentary debate that followed the defeat at Spion Kop?
Lansdowne.
Harcourt. Which besieged town was relieved by a cavalry charge led by Major General John French in February 1900?
Kimberley.
Yes, in February 1900, which ultimately successful battle did Kitchener's troops sustain more than... I've started, so I'll finish. Sustain more than 1,000 casualties, Britain's heaviest losses of any day during the war?
Paardeberg.
Paardeberg is correct. No passes. Gordon Barnes, you have 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Brian Pearce.
Your occupation?
I'm a timber salesman.
And your chosen subject?
Is The Temptations, 1961 to 1973.
The Temptations in 2 minutes, starting now. Before adopting the name The Temptations, what was the group briefly called immediately after arriving at Motown in 1961?
The Elgins.
Yes, what was the name of the Motown record label on which the Temptations' single "Oh Mother of Mine" was released in the summer of 1961?
Gordy.
Miracle. Which member of the group left in 1963 was replaced by David Ruffin?
Eldridge Bryant.
Yes, the group sang backing vocals for which Motown artist on the 1964 songs Keep Me and Midnight Johnny?
Smokey Robinson.
Liz Lanz. Which 1965 single written by Smokey Robinson and Ronnie White was the group's first to feature David Ruffin on lead vocal?
Pass.
What is the name of the pioneer of vocal choreography techniques who was brought into Motown in the mid-60s and worked with the group on their dance routines for many years?
Charlie Atkins.
Correct. Which Temptations song won 3 awards at the Grammy Awards ceremony for 1972?
Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yes. Which member of the group left shortly after recording the lead vocal on Just My Imagination, which was their third #1 hit on the Billboard Pop Singles chart?
David Ruffin.
Eddie Kendricks. What language is used for their song title Ungena za Ulimwengu, which means Unite the World?
That's Swahili.
Yes. Which 1970 Temptations hit includes the lyric Shooting Rockets to the Moon, Kids Growing Up Too Soon?
Ball of Confusion.
Yes. What were the names of the songwriting duo who wrote the group's 1966 hits Ain't Too Proud to Beg and Beauty Is Only Skin Deep?
Smokey Robinson and pass.
Whitfield and Holland. Which song did David Ruffin try to sing at Paul Williams' funeral but became so overcome with emotion the rest of the group joined in?
We'll Miss You.
The Impossible Dream. Who was brought into the group in '71 to replace Eddie Kendricks but according to Otis Williams was sacked after 2 shows because his performances weren't good enough?
Ricky Owens.
Correct. The cover of which Temptations album features a photo of the band dressed as soldiers in the Foreign Legion, which was taken from their appearance on Rowan Martin's Laugh-In?
Pass.
Who co-wrote and played the opening guitar solo of the Temptations' '66 hit I Know I'm Losing You?
Cornelius Grant.
Cornelius Grant is correct. You had 2 passes. The Temptations album featuring a photo of the band dressed as soldiers was Wish It Would Rain, and My Girl was that 1965 single. 2 passes. Brian Pierce, 8 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Jay Thompson.
Your occupation?
Teacher.
And your chosen subject?
It's the Cotton Nero A10 manuscript.
Cotton Nero manuscript in 2 minutes, starting now. Why did these particular volumes in the collection of Sir Robert Cotton come to be known as the Nero manuscripts?
Because they were on top of the bust of Nero.
Correct. According to line 777 of the poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, what is the name of Sir Gawain's horse?
Gringolet.
Correct. In the opening lines of Pearl, the poet says the finest pearls, which princes love to set in flawless gold, come from where?
Orient.
Correct. In Patience, Jonah shelters under which plant that withers after God sends a
Gourd.
worm to destroy it?
Gourd.
Woodbine. What word of Greek origin does the author use for the pearls that trim the lady's white linen gown in section 4 of Pearl?
Pass.
In Cleanness, the line Christ made it clear himself in a speech once where he exalted 8 blessed states refers to which biblical event?
The Beatitudes.
Yes, the Sermon on the Mount. The Cotton Nero manuscript is written in a sophisticated literary version of which dialect of Middle English?
Northwest Midlands.
Yes. What term is used in Cleanness for the North where Satan is traditionally supposed to have lived?
Logos.
Tramountain. When the Green Knight enters the hall at Camelot, he's not wearing a helmet or plate armour, but he's carrying an axe and what else?
Hollybush.
Yes. In Patience, what type of medieval ship is the poet thought to be describing between lines 100 and 244?
Pass.
Which librarian rescued many manuscripts from the Cotton Library when fire broke out in 1731, although some irreplaceable volumes were destroyed?
Henry Savile.
Richard Bentley. In Cleanness, which biblical figure tries to dissuade God from destroying Sodom and Gomorrah in case the righteous are killed along with the sinful?
Pass.
According to Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which wilderness is home to few who are loved by God or good-hearted men?
Hort Desert.
The Wirral. Which mythological sculptor who made an ivory statue that Aphrodite brought to life is referred to as the greatest of all artists in Pearl?
Pygmalion.
Correct. According to Cleanness, Jesus broke bread as cleanly as if it had been cut with a blade from which French city?
Toulouse.
Yes, in Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, what term is used for the piece of gristle at the end of the breastbone of the slaughtered deer?
Pass.
Which line in Pearl gives... I've started, so I'll finish. Which line in Pearl gives the first indication that the lady could be a very young child?
She was not but 2 years old.
Correct. Your 4 passes. Corbel's fee was the term used for that piece of gristle. Abraham was the biblical figure who tried to dissuade God. Cog or coge is the type of medieval ship. And margaris or marieris is the word of Greek origin used for the pearls. 4 passes, Jay Thompson, 9 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Hamish Cameron,
Your occupation?
computer manager.
And your chosen subject?
Scottish monarchs, 843 to 1371.
Scottish monarchs in 2 minutes starting now. Robert the Bruce was excommunicated for killing which of his rivals during a meeting in Dumfries in February 1306?
John Comyn.
Correct. What name derived from the Scottish Gaelic for second in excellence is given to the ancient system that was used to choose a king's successor during his reign?
Tanistry.
Yes. At which battle of 1057 did Malcolm Canmore avenge the death of his father by killing Macbeth?
Dunfannon.
Yes. Which king was responsible for issuing the first Scottish royal coinage?
David I.
Yes. At the Treaty of Chester in 1157, Malcolm IV surrendered Northumberland and Cumbria to Henry II in return for Henry confirming his rights to which earldom?
Huntingdon.
Yes. Which of Malcolm Canmore's wives was canonised in 1250?
Margaret.
Yes. According to the Annals of Ulster, which king of Strathclyde was assassinated in 872 at the instigation of Constantine I?
Arthgal.
Yes. The traditional royal burial site on Iona was lost when which king ceded the island to the Norwegian king Magnus Barefoot in 1098?
Edgar the Peaceable.
Yes. At which battle of 1346 did the English capture David II, whom they held hostage for 11 years until a ransom was agreed
Neville's
upon?
Cross.
Correct. In March 1306, which representative of the Earls of Fife crowned Robert the Bruce at Scone?
The Countess of Buchan.
Yes. What name was given to the document the Scottish noblemen were forced to sign, recognising Edward I as their king in 1296?
Ragman Rolls.
Yes. Malcolm II defeated a Northumbrian army at which battle in around 1018 to
Carham.
secure control over an area that roughly corresponds to modern Scotland?
Carham.
Correct. After William the Lion was captured at Alnwick in 1174, he signed which treaty forcing him to accept Henry II as his feudal lord?
Falaise.
Correct. What was the name of Malcolm III's son by his first wife Ingeborg, who was taken hostage by William the Conqueror in 1072?
Duncan.
Yes, in around 849, Kenneth MacAlpin transferred the relics of St Columba from Iona to which Perthshire village, after which a future dynasty took its name?
Dunkeld.
Correct. In August 1332, at which battle did Edward Balliol defeat a larger force led by Donald Earl of Mar, who was regent for the young David II?
Dublin Moor.
Correct. Malcolm IV became known by what nickname because he died young and unmarried?
The Maiden.
Correct. Which Scottish king was the brother-in-law of Henry I of England and married Henry's illegitimate daughter Sibylla?
Alexander I.
Correct. No passes. Hamish Cameron. All right. 18 points. So that's the end of the specialist subjects round. Let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 8 points, Brian Pearce. Third place with 9 points, Jay Thompson. Second place with 12 points, Gordon Barnes. In the lead with a remarkable 18 points, Hamish Cameron. So the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of the round, then the number of passes get taken into account, which suggests that it's sometimes better to take an educated guess than to pass. So let's get on with it and ask Brian Pearce to join us again, if you would, please. And you are a timber salesman, which might be a sort of difficult job these days because we worry about where our wood comes from, don't we? Sustainable forests and all that sort of thing.
That's absolutely right, yeah. More and more in building nowadays, the issue of chain of custody and sustainable forests.
Chain of custody?
It basically means the ability to trace a piece of wood from the forest of origin through to its end use.
What, you can do that?
In theory you can, yes. You may well go into your local DIY store and see a sign on there that says FSC, which is the Forest Stewardship Council. It's their mark, their logo, which would indicate that that piece of wood has come from a sustainable source. In some respects, for softwood, which is really my area of, I won't say expertise, but my area, it's not really as relevant as it would be with the hardwoods that take obviously 200 odd years
to say centuries to grow.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, how interesting. Right, you have 8 points. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. Starting now, which insect is commonly referred to in Britain as the daddy longlegs?
Horsefly.
Cranefly. What name is given to the curved transparent membrane that covers the front of the human eye?
Retina.
Cornea. In Greek mythology, which king of Mycenae was murdered by his wife Clytemnestra and her lover Aegisthus on his return from the Trojan War?
Hector.
Agamemnon. What is the name of the Royal Air Force College in Lincolnshire, which has trained officers since 1920?
Pass.
Which British-born actor played the monster in the 1931 film Frankenstein and the ancient Egyptian prince Imhotep in The Mummy a year later?
Boris Karloff.
Yes. What was the name of the Southern African Republic of Botswana until it gained independence in 1966?
Nyasaland.
Bechuanaland. Which American author said in 1909, I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835, it's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. His prediction proved correct when he died the following year.
Mark Twain.
Correct. How is the wildflower, the corn rose, generally known?
Bluebell.
The poppy. Which king had the nicknames Old Rowley and the Merry Monarch?
Henry VIII.
Charles II. Which football league club owes its nickname, the Chair Boys, to the local furniture-making tradition?
Pass.
Who painted Mr. and Mrs. Andrews in about 1750 whilst living in his native Suffolk?
Constable.
Gainsborough. Which word denoting severe financial problems comes from the Italian for broken bench?
Bankrupt.
Yes. Who succeeded Sir Winston Churchill as British Prime Minister in 1955?
Attlee.
Anthony Eden. Which science fiction writer CB includes the assistant editorship of the academic journal Physics Abstracts and plot advisor to the Dan Dare comic strip?
Asimov.
Arthur C. Clarke. With which song did ABBA win the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest?
Waterloo.
Yes. What German word for armour or coat of mail was used to describe certain mechanised units of the German army in the Second World War? Take a guess. Out of time.
Panzer.
Yes, it's always worth taking a guess. Right, 2 passes. The Chairboys are the Wickham Wanderers, and Cranwell is that RAF college.
Okay.
Brian Pearce, you have a total of 13 points.
Thank you.
And now Jay Thompson, please. So you have a little bit of explaining to do because we now know, because of the questions, that Sir Robert Cotton had a famous library, and we know why they were called the Nero manuscripts, but what were the manuscripts?
The manuscript consists of 4 poems, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight being the most famous one, I think, and then 3 other poems which are effectively sort of commentaries on Old Testament stories.
Right, and they were written when?
Well, between the 1380s and 1400.
What does it sound like then? Can you give us a flavour of it? Middle English?
Well, if I give you the first 2 lines of Pearl, Pearl plaisant to prince's pay, to clanly cross in gold so clear.
So it sounds, well, a bit like modern English, but not very much. I mean, very different, isn't it?
Well, the dialect that we speak now, the dialect of English we speak now is the dialect that from sort of Kent, the Kentish English, and the London area, which Chaucer was writing in at the same time as the Gawain poet.
Right.
So that's why Chaucer is more recognisable than the Gawain poet.
Right, you have 9 points with your knowledge of those manuscripts. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. On which island is the United States naval base of Guantanamo Bay?
Cuba.
Correct. The title of which novel by Thackeray is taken from John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress?
Vanity Fair.
Yes. What surname links the soul and blues performers Ben E., BB and Albert?
Johnson.
King. In which sport, played between 2 teams of 18, does a player score 1 point if he kicks a behind?
Pass.
What name is given to the stretch of the River Thames that lies between London Bridge and Rotherhithe?
Estuary.
Pool of London. Which 3-letter girl's name means life in Greek?
Zoe.
Yes. What name, meaning majority, was given to the faction of the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party led by Lenin that seized power after the 1917 revolution?
Politburo.
Bolshevik. In 1743, a Scottish hunter named McQueen is said to have shot the last specimen of which carnivore in Scotland?
Boar.
The wolf. Which part of a meal literally means outside the work in French?
Hors d'oeuvre.
Yes. Against whom were at least 4 assassination attempts made, the perpetrators including Edward Oxford in 1840 and Roderick MacLean in 1882?
So can you repeat the question, please?
Against whom were at least 4 assassination attempts made, the perpetrators including Edward Oxford in 1840 and Roderick MacLean in 1882?
Pass.
How is the Venetian artist born Tiziano Vecellio generally known in English?
Titian.
Yes. In which Spanish city did a branch of the Guggenheim Museum open in October 1997?
Bilbao.
Yes. Which Salford-born playwright won critical acclaim for A Taste of Honey in 1958 when she was just a teenager?
Shirley Delaney.
Yes. 2 of Henry VIII's wives outlived him. One was Anne of Cleves. Who was the other?
Catherine Howard.
Catherine Parr. Which cult filmmaker is named after the character played by Burt Reynolds in the television series Gunsmoke?
Pass.
What does the acronym WASP stand for when used to denote the middle and upper class group considered to be the most privileged class in American society?
White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Correct. Which spring flower is named after the Greek youth who was accidentally killed? I'll finish the question while Apollo was teaching him to throw the discus.
Narcissus.
Hyacinth. You had 3 passes. Quentin Tarantino was that cult filmmaker. Queen Victoria was the person they all tried to assassinate. And if you kick a behind, as it were, you're doing it in Australian rules football, but I don't think it means quite what it sounds as though it might mean. 3 passes, Jay Thompson, a total of 17 points. And now Gordon Barnes, please. Now you work on a gas platform, a Lincolnshire rig.
Yes, it is off the coast of Lincolnshire, about 70 miles east of the Humber.
And when you're on dry land, as it were, you get involved in Morris dancing.
Indeed, yes. I play for a group called Jet Set, and we're a border Morris group.
Do you do the dancing bit, or do you play
No, my wife's a dancer, but I do...
A woman?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I thought you were Morris men.
Well, indeed, our border Morris group, dares to be different, in fact. Our ladies wear black Gothic dresses with a splash of colour, either red, green or purple, and the men wear black trousers, black waistcoats and a white shirt with a little coloured cravat. So we're somewhat different from the standard, but we nod towards the tradition of border Morris.
Now, you have 12 points. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. The Mongol warrior leader born Temujin in the middle of the 12th century is better known by what name, meaning supreme chief?
Genghis Khan.
Yes, in which country are Flamengo, Palmeiras and Santos among the leading football clubs?
Uruguay.
Brazil. Which ship, the subject of a famous painting, was second in line behind the HMS Victory at the Battle of Trafalgar?
The Fighting Tamarack.
Yes. Who played Don Vito's heir, Michael Corleone, in the Godfather films?
Marlon Brando.
Al Pacino. Which common game bird has the scientific name Phasianus colchicus, supposedly referring to the legend that Jason brought it back from Colchis with the golden fleece?
Pass.
The Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which was 400 years old in 2004, is the holy scripture of which religion?
Sikh.
Yes. For what do the initials MDC stand in the context of Zimbabwean politics?
Pass.
What name do fishmongers typically use for dogfish and wolffish to make them more appealing to customers?
Rock salmon.
Yes. Which record by the Shangri-Las about a biker boyfriend reached number 11 early in 1965, although it was banned by the BBC at the time?
Pass.
By what name, meaning awakening or shaking off in Arabic, are the uprisings of the Palestinians against Israeli military occupation that began in 1987 known?
No, pass.
Debrecen is the second largest city in which East European country?
Albania.
Hungary. What type of car first went on sale on the 1st of October 1908 for about $850?
The Ford Model T.
Yes. What was the name of the character played by Bernard Hill in the television drama series The Boys from the Black Stuff?
Yoza.
Yes, Yoza Hughes. Against which city-state did Rome fight the 3 Punic Wars between 264 and 146 BC?
Carthage.
Yes. The name of which human eating disorder comes from the Greek for without appetite?
Anorexia.
Yes. What type of fruit is a custard, from which we get the word costermonger?
Apple.
Apple is correct. You had 4 passes altogether. Awakening or shaking off in Arabic, it's the Intifada. The leader of the pack was the Shangri-Las song. Movement for Democratic Change is what MDC stands for. And that game bird is a pheasant. 4 passes. Gordon Barnes, you have a total of 21 points. And finally, Hamish Cameron, please. Extraordinary knowledge of Scottish kings. Can I say this to you? Obviously, an enthusiastic Scotsman. They were a bunch of thugs, weren't they? I mean, they just went killing everybody all the time.
There's probably no worse thugs than the Saxons, the Danes, even the Welsh at the same time. And it's very badly documented Scottish history. So what we have was written by the Norse, the Irish, the English. And history is written by our enemies.
Well, history is written by the victor, isn't it? That's the whole point. Right, so they weren't. They mostly sat home doing their knitting, did they? Or?
Well, there was no obvious succession in the Scottish kings. There were 33 monarchs in the period I covered, and it took until number 27 for a son to follow a father.
Really?
It seemed to be a system of election among the royal family as to who became the next king on the death of the previous one.
Right.
And obviously, you might not agree with the election. You might have to take things into your own hands. There is no written documentation as to what the rules were.
But basically, it seems as though you got to be king by killing the other guy.
It did help, yes.
Right, well, you had 18 points, which is an awful lot in your first round. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What is the characteristic scent of the plant pennyroyal used in traditional herbal medicine?
Pass.
In which city is there a museum dedicated to the art of the Norwegian artist Edvard Munch?
Oslo.
Yes, according to the Gospel of John, what was the name of the brother of Simon Peter, who was the first of the apostles to be called by Jesus?
Andrew.
Yes, which term for a tract of open upland, especially in southeastern England, comes from the Old English for hill?
Pass.
Who became poet laureate after the death of Sir John Betjeman in 1984?
Hughes.
Yes. Which port, the oldest of the large French cities, was founded by Greek sailors from Phoenicia in about 600 BC?
Marseille.
Yes. What name is used to describe a brown racehorse with a black muzzle, mane and tail?
Palomino.
Bay. Which English nurse was executed by the Germans during the First World War for assisting Allied soldiers to escape from occupied Belgium?
Edith Cavell.
Yes. What was the surname of the mother and son who were respectively trainer and jockey of the 91 Cheltenham Gold Cup winner Garrison Savannah?
Pass.
From which Wagner opera does the Pilgrim's Chorus come?
Pass.
In which year did the general strike take place in Great Britain?
1926.
Yes. Ayad Alawi, Ibrahim al-Jafari and Nouri al-Maliki have all been prime ministers of which country in recent times?
Iraq.
Yes. Which actor tucked into a Thanksgiving Day meal of a boiled shoe in the 1925 film The Gold Rush?
Charlie Chaplin.
Correct. The flag of which Southeast Asian country is red with a 5-pointed yellow star in its centre?
Vietnam.
Yes, by which treaty of 1929 did Mussolini restore the temporal power of the Pope, giving him just over 100 acres to rule as the Vatican City?
Lateran.
Yes, whose law states that within the proportional limit, the extension produced in a spring or wire is proportional to the force producing it?
Hook.
Yes, what word is used for illegally distilled Irish whiskey?
Pachin.
Yes, Colonel Chinstrap, Frisbee Dyke and Mrs. Mott were characters in which classic wartime radio series?
It's that man again.
Correct. The African chief Shaka, who reorganized his people's warriors, the Impi, is regarded as the founder of which nation?
Zulus.
Yes. For which Hollywood actress, just started, but I'll finish. For which Hollywood actress's wedding in 1956 did the American jazz band leader Stan Kenton write Homage to the Princess?
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly is correct. You had 4 passes. Tannhäuser is the Wagner operator, Pilgrim's Chorus. Jenny and Mark Pittman were the mother and son, trainer and jockey. Down is a tract of open upland. And Pennyroyal is mint. 4 passes. Hamish Cameron, 33 points. Well, not much doubt about that. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 13 points, Brian Pearce. In 3rd place with 17 points, Jade Thompson. In 2nd place with 21 points, Gordon Barnes. In 1st place with an extraordinary 33 points, Hamish Cameron. Which means, of course, that he goes through to the semi-final. Congratulations to him. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
You face John Humphreys. Well, next on BBC Two, it's Anne Robinson, a pussycat by comparison. If only. Weakest link in a moment.